You know what bothers me is that every once in a while I'll see they're like, oh, it rained too much, and the water plants are just blasting the excess water into the ocean or whatever because we have too much. And then I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? Like you're blasting, then you're like, oh, we can't even hold this much, so we gotta blast a lot of it into the ocean because our
what are you talking about?
Sometimes they get too much water, they can't even hold it.
Who?
The water people.
You can press the button on your earbud.
What?
On your iPod. You know, in the thing in your ear, your AirPod.
Yeah. It has a button? What I have seen is The Walking Dead is still around.
Daryl Dixon, they're doing
and
it
Daryl's in Paris.
What? Daryl does Paris?
He's in Paris with some nuns that kill people. Yeah.
I don't eat these goddamn croissants.
So you like crepes.
And I'm like, how did Daryl get to Paris?
Daryl went to Paris looking for answers.
I'm not,
and Negan and Maggie are in New York.
I'm not joking. It was like I got put to sleep and I woke up in the future and I'm like, Daryl's in Paris now? Like, because I never even, I thought The Walking Dead.
He still has the crossbow, the motorcycle. He shoots the crossbow into a zombie's head and he's like, wee, mother effer.
So it's like montage of how he used to work for like a super high end expensive restaurant, and where they do like the small plates of the fucking drizzle the shit, like a little.
Three little squirts of pesto and fucking one scallop.
So he's doing that, and he puts a little scallop, and then the little fucking makes a radish into like a flour.
You put microgreens on it.
And then he's drizzling some shit or whatever, and then he's got this big white plate with a tiny little circle with some drizzles, and then the chef's yelling at him about how his drizzles aren't right, and then I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then I told Crystal, I was like, who gets joy from eating the weird little tiny round drizzle?
Tons of people.
And then she's like, you wouldn't understand because you're
too dumb.
How dare you say that? We had morning delight.
We did.
You did? Oh, tell me about it. Right. Now we get down to brass tacks.
I mean, this can't be that much of an arrangement.
Yeah, so you got a little morning Rickles.
Wait, do you mean the Jimmy Dean's Morning Delight sandwiches?
With Jimmy Dean Delights, good mornings lead to great days. Shine on.
I noticed that my smoothies have fallen by the wayside.
You have the choice. You get the buffalo or a smoothie.
Yeah, no, I'll take the Morning Delight all the time.
Yeah, Morning Delight doesn't give him diarrhea, which is...
Yeah, well, no, it's the extra pumps. That's what it gets me.
What are we talking about?
Ew, what?
No, I meant that when I go to the smoothie store, they give me the sugar pump. And
wait a minute, the sugar pump.
Watch what you're saying, buddy.
No, they give me the extra sweetener.
Nobody knows what you're saying.
And I don't get that when I get the homemade ones. I get the pure.
Yeah, it's just leafy greens with one drip of water.
Mummy bone.
A scoop of premium mummy bones.
So dry. And lumpy. And then I pull up.
And there's a Dracula inside.
And then I'm like, hello.
Hello.
I'm like,
hello?
I'm here to
It's me.
measure or to weigh my trailer. And then she's like, $10 cash.
Large Marge sent you.
Large Marge sent ya.
Oh, I got scared.
Oh, you didn't have cash.
And then I'm looking at my wallet. I'm looking, receipts are falling out, whatever. And then I'm like, $9? I have $9 cash.
I took 9.
Of course you
Only
did.
you.
Oh, check the truck for quarters.
Only you.
Only you.
So I'm like, I'm sorry, I have $9. And
I thought I told you.
And then she's like, pull around. I do another Austin Powers turn through the... And then she gives me a slip that it's just a pink slip that looks like it, they bought it in the 80s or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and
Well, you bought it from Uline. There's no title on it. It literally just says slip at the top, and she wrote, I don't know what.
She wrote 780. And then the guy has my trailer on the tractor ready to get my boat. So I zoom up there, and I'm like, wait. I'm like, I need to grab my...
Does he do the turnaround?
No.
So I'm like, hey, you got some pliers or a knife or anything? He's like, nope.
Turn
Love
it
it.
around.
I love this.
So then
It's like, no.
I grab the license plate, and I just start...
Ripping it?
I'm like, I'm ripping it off with my string. So I'm like,
With my
"Hi-ya!"
string.
And then with my weak hands, I managed to bust the zip ties out.
Because they're dry rotted. Thank God for dry rotted zip ties.
And then I put the plate in.
Is it all bent and mangled?
Yeah, all mangled. And then I put the plate in there, and then I put the slip on top that just says, it's a pink slip.
780.
780, nothing, no other information whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, my name's not on there, nothing, 780. And then I'm like, well, gotta go to the DMV with this.
First, you should know if Sammy Hagar calls you on the phone, you kind of hold the phone like 3 feet away from your ear.
Like, is it like, hey Joe, woo,
Yeah.
Red Rocker baby?
He's just an enthusiastic person.
Yeah.
So he's screaming at me something. I think I'm trying to figure out what he's saying, and it's about going to Vegas. Bring my guitar and my amp, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to play some Led Zeppelin or something. And Chad's going to be there, and Mikey, and I thought, that sounds like fun, So I showed up, and that was the first time I met Chad and Mike as well. And so we just sort of talked about what we were going to do, and then we hit the stage for the encore, and it went so well that after, backstage right afterwards, everyone agreed we should be a band. And Sammy just sort of blurted out that we should call it Chickenfoot. And everybody said, absolutely no way are we calling this band Chickenfoot. And of course.
When I run my smoker, I think that smoke blows to the left and smokes up Stu and Sue.
Oh.
And the neighbors on the end, I think their houses for a week. After I do a couple of yard
like
birds.
a pork butt?
Yeah, I smoke a couple of yard birds, and man, and they're like, we're talking Stu's Maserati smells like smoke. We're talking about the neighbor's Land Rover smell like smoke. I smoke everything. I'm out there in
you got
tiny.
a smoker and a dog pool.
Yeah, I got a dog pool, and I got
your
my
daughter's
smoker.
just flipping around the hot asphalt.
She's flipping on the asphalt, and I got 4-inch shorts on. I got some tiny tinies, little tinies that suction to my genitals. I mean, you can see it all.
Hi. Wait, now I kind of like it.
Tell me more. It makes me feel like I'm about to have diarrhea.
Yeah, do it. Do it. His heart stopped for one moment. You went dead for a second.
I could not talk for a second.
Oh, yeah.
There goes there. What is that?
No! God! No! Yeah! Talk! No! No! Yeah! No! God!
Yes! Today's my favorite day.
The strategy is she is not leaving that room until she tells me the truth.
I love rape.
He was our main suspect, but we couldn't prove it.
Yeah, email me all the throbbers.
They're not going to be able to get a conviction without the confession.
I cannot wait to hear what he's about to say.
I love raping people.
We don't have any evidence. If he did not confess, we were done.
And they don't care, and the cops don't care. The
happens
law
a
doesn't
lot.
care. I don't care. You don't care. No one cares.
most successful match that we've had just goes back to this summer, actually. So they were matched for 12 and a half years, one of our longest matches. The kid wanted to be a Secret Service agent. At the time, he had, mostly B's, C's, and a couple D's, mostly a confidence issue. A lot of our kids have lower grades, and it's all confidence. As soon as they start matching with someone and someone that actually cares about them, those grades go right through the roof.
100%.
So this kid worked his tail off with the help of his mentor, and then this past June got put into the Secret Service and is now an active Secret Service agent and hit his goal.
I'm like, so I have to suggest it. I'm like, why don't you suggest it now?
I suggest it all the time.
He doesn't. He goes, I don't need to suggest it because I'm ready to do it all the time. But then I'm like, but I asked the last 2 times and you said that you're too tired or you want to snuggle with your dog.
You got to put some riz on that.
His mind is blowing up right now.
Look at
punch his lights out.
Look at him.
He's just spitting it.
Under his nose. What? I've never heard of this. Does anybody relate to this?
You got to riz him
I
up.
thought it was
I got riz, man.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
So where do you get ventriloquist dummy?
Where do you get Ryan
that's above my pay grade.
All right.
Somebody else ordered this thing, but
okay.
He's great.
Oh, his pants are falling off.
Oh my God! Well, you could use that in your act. You could use that in your act.
So when did you acquire this Mo dummy?
I think he just came in last week.
Right.
Who do you call a dummy?
Hey. Well, you know the bit. So can you do any of the ventriloquism?
This is actually the first time I've seen the puppet in person.
Okay.
Does he have a voice yet, or is it the Mo voice?
So far, we got to develop a voice. I mean, like I said, this is the first time meeting him. I mean, we're just getting to know each other.
You know how hard it is for me not to snatch that out of your hand? I want to snatch it out of his hand so bad right now.
You can't snatch me, Dan.
Don't do that voice. Come on.
We have listeners in today, and thank you guys for being here. We appreciate it. And we're getting through all the listeners that are signed up to get through, and I love it. I'm glad to have you guys back. But
I know Tom is because he saw one of the listeners in a thong at the beach party.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I'm
confused. What's going on?
No.
He's uncomfortable. He's uncomfortable.
Nice job.
It's got to be so sterile when you do the space stuff because the whole point is really
Tom's sterile.
Well, then just send him in. I don't know what the issue is. You've got to be so careful because the whole point is to see if there's alien life, right? So, we want to. I mean, there's other points, formation of the solar system or whatever. But we want to know is there evidence of weird bacteria or something? This is the same thing is true for satellites we send to Saturn and other distant moons. We want to know if there's life there. So we got to be so careful. It takes so long. You watch them in the hazmat suits just to do anything, right? To unlock a key and then they run away and they scurry because you got to be so careful.
It's because if they find something that they didn't expect, their first thought,
you got to be sure that it's aliens.
It's there's guacamole in here.
Exactly.
He literally saw this video of mine on Instagram when I was in New York promoting a show where I made fun of New Yorkers. I was like, hey, I'm walking here. Hey, my dog's shitting over here. And I was just doing stupid shit. And he saw it and reshared it. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, why do I have 500 new followers overnight, which was rare. I was like, the fuck? And so I looked at it. I'm like, Bill Burr shared my story. So I was like, don't be weird. But I'm like, DM him. I'm like, just DM him back and thank him.
What did you say?
So I waited.
It?
So I was with my buddy Alex Pavone, who's hilarious, who's actually opening for me this weekend.
Very cool.
And he's like, you say something. You have to say something. He's like, don't be weirdo about it. So I waited 2 hours and I wrote, hey, Bill, thanks for sharing my story. I really appreciate it. Yeah. And then he hearted it and then wrote, you had me crying over here. So he quoted my bit. And I was like, so I hearted it. And I'm like, put your phone away. Because I could be
take a break.
Put it away. Don't be stupid.
Take a break.
Yeah.
And you might be like, this guy's seducing me.
Yeah,
tell him about your
so listen, you're going to suck my dick after the show. No, I'm not. But he literally was he wrote back an hour later being like, hey, would you want to open for me on the road? And I was like, I literally was like, this is on my birthday, 2 years ago.
On your birthday?
On my birthday.
Cool, man. Be
and
cool.
I was I'm I'm losing my fucking mind right now. And then I did the special and then I did very well, and Bill was backstage laughing at me. Then I opened for him a couple times in Toronto and Salt Lake City, and then he wrote me into his movie, which is fucking cool as hell. It was literally just me. I played myself. It's just a small role, but yeah.
Finesse, come smoke with your nephew.
You smoked with Snoop?
Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
Saturday Night Live. Snoop came with Bishop Dom Magic Wand.
Yes.
And that was his spiritual advisor at the time. And he had this leather thing that had the string around it, so you had to untie the string,
like
unroll the leather.
Scrolls are in
yeah.
there.
And then in this like a saran wrap had these long asparagus type blunts.
Okay.
And we lit up right there in the dressing room. Me, Snoop, Keenan, Bishop, and yeah, I think that was it. And that was the day I said we're getting fired. and Keenan was like, they need me.
Well, it's like war gets complicated. Like, yeah, you kill the enemy because the enemy's trying to kill you. But then if you get, like, soldiers have talked about this, where they start looking and they're like, man, they're just getting, like, they're a soldier just like I am.
Exactly.
They're getting put out there to kill the enemy, but they have they're just fighting for their country. Like, they have a family to go home to as well.
They're doing the same thing I'm doing.
Yeah. And then you start getting into that dichotomy, and then it becomes more complicated than just bad versus evil.
So stick your head in the sand.
Yeah.
Let's don't think about it. Don't talk about it.
I don't like the word dichotomy.
No.
I don't even know what it means.
The best to you from Kmart Radio. KMRT.
Heart of my heart, I love you. Life would be naught without you. Light of my life, my darling, I love you. I love you. I can forget you never. From you I ne'er can sever. Say you'll be mine forever. I love you.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath. Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
I wish my refund hurry up so I can have a taxitude.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
I'ma be like, let me get 20 on pump 3.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Matter of fact, make it 25. And yes, I would like to donate to the March of Dimes. So ring me up that Coke and candy bar 2 for $2.22 deal where $1 goes to March 2. Oh, and ring these Skittles up for my kid too. And when the cashier tells me to have a nice day, I'm gonna be like, no ma'am, you have a blessed day, sugar.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Pull down my shades like Kim Kardashian, smile like Gabrielle Union.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Flip my bundles like Nicki Minaj and queen out the door like Beyonce.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Goofy face, goofy face, goofy face, heart, 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 muscle, muscle, muscle.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Sassy black girl, sassy black girl, sassy black girl, kiss, kiss, kiss. Hashtag so what, hashtag I ain't shame, hashtag my money, hashtag call me.
Y'all do, don't say, I love you.
Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast.
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
We're back at the CMA Awards. He's nominated for 7 awards tonight with his song, Boogers. Please welcome Billy Dean Aldean.
Pizza might be tasty, tacos are a delight, but there's only one real go-to food when you're taken in a fight. He's big and fat with a heart of gold, but I know you heard the news. Jelly Roll eats his boogers when he's not eating food. And he eats a lot of food. Somebody save him from picking his nose. He might be beautifully broken, but that shit's straight gross. He's big and fat with a heart of gold, but I know you heard the news. Jelly Roll eats his boogers when he's not eating food. And he eats a lot of food. Somebody save him from picking his nose. He might be beautifully broken, but that shit's straight gross. He's big and fat with a heart of gold, but I know you heard the news. Jelly Roll eats his boogers when he's not eating food. And he eats a lot of food. All the food. All the food.
Hello. This is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Welcome to the Friday free show of A Mediocre Time.
Hey, it is another A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom. Seth Petrozelli's here. How you doing, Seth?
Oh, on the couch.
I can't hear myself.
We've got.
Oh, he's very stressed out on the couch.
We've got this year's couch racing team in the studio.
You guys can make some noise. Yeah. The couchman.
Yeah. We got a
Whole
big
team.
Viking over here with the cowboy boots on.
That guy.
Yeah.
Who hired that guy? That guy's awesome. That guy's gonna kick everyone's ass.
He looks like a competitor.
He does.
The rest of them.
They look fun. I'll give them that. They look fun.
They're drunk, which is not going to help their performance on Sunday. But we'll talk to them later, and of course, the person riding and steering our couch is going to talk to us via Zoom, and it's Tuttle, and he's got some crazy plans.
Well, he has to speak to us via Zoom because I believe, as of right now, he is currently living in a tent in Champions Gate, Orlando, and he's sleeping on the lawn in a tent with his friend Colton, and yeah. Well, he's at the Bubba the Love Sponge content house.
Yeah.
And they are it's wild. In fact, you got to watch the trailer because it's Bubba the Love Sponge and this hot girl, right? And they're sitting there. It's like a trailer for the thing, right? And the girl's sitting there. She's like, you need to do this. You need to know that you're so influential in the world. You need to know your worth, and you need to know what you're dropping off. And then Bubba the Love Sponge looks at the camera. He's like, I gotta drop something off in the toilet. It's fine. I go, yes! Yeah! He's like, I gotta drop something off in the toilet. I'm like, yes! It's here! It's here! Christmas in November. Bubba the Love Sponge, Shit Shack 2. I'm so excited about this, dude.
All right, before we talk to Seth, we got to reference Daniel's song he just made and show Seth the video.
I love I don't hate Jelly Roll or anything, but the dude eats his boogers now, and we have to talk about it. He's a booger eater.
So we talked.
Have you seen the video?
I can show Seth the video.
I have not.
Seth, this is real shit right here. Hold on, I gotta find the booger video. Okay, here we go. Go back here.
I mean, it's real gross to watch it.
There he is. He's going in. He's picking. He rolls it too. My dad used to roll.
Where's this hat?
This is at UFC last week. Roll. Oh my God! Right in the mouth. Right in the mouth. Right in the mouth. Right next to you're doing that next to.
Oh my God.
You're doing that next to the president-elect. You're doing that next to the next president and Kid Rock.
Why?
You know why? I'm not joking. It's fucking Kid Rock, our president-elect Donald Trump, and Jelly Roll is one row behind them, rolling his boogers and putting them in his mouth.
Well, I'm sure that's something.
What a time to be alive!
It's probably something he used to do as a kid, and like he didn't even, it's
well,
like
he's 40. You know, I used to do a lot of shit when I was a kid. There was a kid, Paul,
it's
in my church.
It's kind of weird for him to drift off enough to roll his boogers and eat it when he's sitting next to Donald Trump
and Kid Rock
and Elon Musk.
You're at UFC 300 and whatever the hell. Like,
everybody, people are watching. You're a celebrity.
You're the biggest celebrity.
Yeah. And to zone out that much, where you're like, I'm gonna jelly roll my booger and then eat it.
Hey, I see what you did there.
Anyway,
there used to be a kid in my church. There used to be a kid in my church, Paul, who would pull his penis out all the time. Just pull it out.
Yeah.
Now I would like to guess that Paul, he was 9 when he was doing it, like from 0 to 9. He was the penis pull it out kid, right?
Yeah.
But like, if he's 40, if he's my age, 48 now, he can't